my YouTube channel. For those who are new here, my name is Nolu Kumalo, and for the returning subbies, I appreciate all the love and all the support that you guys continuously show me. Today I got your girl. She'll introduce herself. So please introduce yourself, ma'am.
Hey guys, my name is Tia Smith. And guys, every time I said the last one, I almost said the entire intro. So now I'm fortunate, but I'm Tia Smith, and thank you for having me.
Only a pleasure. So I asked Tia to collaborate with me because I'm just like, we both moms, and we married and we young. And I know there's a big stereotype on social media about being married and young and you must wait till you're 30, you must whatnot, and being a mom young, it's not the vibes. You must wait till a certain age until you decide to be a mom. I don't know if you share the same sentiments, but I'm like, if you can, do it while you're young. It's better financially, well, for me, because we balance our stuff, because I know I have someone I can rely on financially, and he can rely on me as well. And the quicker we have babies, the quicker we can travel, because it was a cooler, and when I'm in my 40s, I can
life begins at 40.
I can do a lot. I don't know what your views are.
I think so. Before, someone that will watch this, and I've once answered this question or numerous times before, but previously is going to hear a different answer to what I want to say now.
Okay.
But that's just a change in perspective.
Okay.
So the old me would have said, I prefer like someone to live their lives before getting married.
Yeah.
But in the sense that living your life independently without having someone's authority over your life, because in marriage you do share the authoritative key to whatever decision making you have to make. So I would advise people to enjoy that freedom.
Yes.
You know, that independent freedom of making your own choices and whatever without getting someone's approval or go ahead, because growing up, your parents, you'd have to from your parents. So that little gap that we have between leaving our parental homes before entering into marriage is the one that I always advise people to enjoy.
Yes.
However, I think through and from experience, I would highly advise people getting married young. I think it teaches you a lot of accountability, stability. You know, you get to grow with someone. You get to have guidance along the way. You don't have to spend the rest of your early years skipping and changing and switching from boy to boy lover and you know, because there's a commitment that comes with marriage that says I want to be with this person regardless of their flaws. Whereas in dating, I could be easily irritated by something and just up and go and find the next, you know. So yeah, I'd highly recommend that people, if they can, we as women, we have no control over getting married at whatever age. The man does, you know. So I can't even say to you, you know, I could say I want to get married by 25 and it doesn't happen because it is not in my control. Yeah, but given the opportunity, you're to take it, because someone can say, I can't do it because I'm young.
Yeah.
And then wait until that guy was ready for marriage and moves on to the next. And what are the chances of you getting the next guy?
Yeah.
Do it, you know? So absolutely go for it. Go for committed, stable, healthy relationships.
How did your parents feel about it? Like
So I think with my parents, they've always given me the key to do me and be me.
Nice.
They've always trained me towards like independence or doing things without them from an early age. So my life was forever ahead, a step ahead, or you know, whatever. So it didn't really shock them when at the age of 20 I said this guy proposed, because I've always been that independent person. They never felt like, I think had I been umuntu bayizai, they maybe would have felt some sort of way giving their blessings or whatever. Maybe they would have felt the need to still protect me, but they didn't have to, because I was independent from like an early age, or you know, sold to life by myself. So they were actually quite confident in the fact that I would do well, and they wished me well.
Do you think children change the dynamic of marriage? Because I know so Slu and I met in varsity.
Okay.
And he would ask me out, and I'm like, this guy was just
Boy,
leaving me
bye.
alone. Like, chillax.
Boy, bye.
And at that time, like, Nindi Siras Nagen so like, I was just that girl. They told me I'm gonna marry a pastor. Like, I really don't want you.
He's a pastor?
No, he's not.
Okay.
That's why I didn't want him. I'm like, I want to marry a pastor.
Oh, you wanted to?
Yes.
Okay.
Not you and whatnot. And we met again in 2018. That's when we actually started dating. We were both working at the time and whatnot.
Okay.
Then when we started dating, it's different now. Like our dynamic with Zani. Zani is my son. Our dynamic around everything is different. At that time, we were spontaneous and whatnot. And now, even having to do the simplest thing, it's just like, okay, so Mshia Nabani. Okay. We don't have a full-time nanny. We used to, but flop.
Okay.
And we just decided that he's going to go to school. And apart
so
from school,
he's like one.
we'll take care of him.
Okay.
Because we were just like also sharing a space with a nanny, and like we're like, it's fun.
Yeah.
We'll just maneuver around it. But our relationship changed, and I know sometimes children make or break relationships. And okay, ours hasn't broken yet.
Let's thank God and amen to that.
Yes, but I know that there are relationships that when a child was brought to the dynamic, it couldn't withstand it. And because you're just like, you're not helpful. You're not, I'm just doing everything and whatnot. And I don't know, are there any boundaries? Do you think there are any boundaries whether with us, for example, Sulu does everything and anything. He can change Zani, feed him, bath him, or whatnot. But I know with other ladies, they're like, okay, I will do all the domesticated roles. You will take him to the park.
Okay. So, I prefer speaking off of experience.
Yes.
I inherited my child in marriage. So, my husband had a son, and he's 6 years old. We've been together for 4 years. So Alinde comes over some weekends.
Okay.
So my experience with him is that weekend or the holidays or whatever.
Yes.
Right? But I met Alinde when he was, I think, just after he turned 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's still a baby.
It's been a while.
And now he's like a girl. He's a girl boy. He's a grown boy, you know. So when he was introduced to me, he was this tiny 2-year-old. And then a year passed. We had lockdown, COVID lockdown, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Mawake is a health protector. We doctor.
Okay.
So COVID time, she could not stay with him.
Oh,
And
because
then-
of COVID.
Yes, and then I got to then build a stronger relationship with him during lockdown. South Africa, you know, and it's a relationship that started ingane sikhulile. So nakhona ingane that we see every now and again, like 3 times a month, for example. So we don't have like a day-to-day routine, and I think our routine hasn't been affected per se, because on that weekend I will take Alinde, he'll be with me, I do bath him, I do put him to bed, change him, clean his clothes, whatever, take him out to the restaurant, play, whatever. And then Babaki, then you know how dads are.
Yes.
Well, I mean, in our case, he's a working dad, and he's always working.
Yes.
Busy, whatever, but does make time for his son. So I'm yet to experience the ingane yakho, nappy change, sleepless nights type of thing. I do fear for them, and I can only pray that my partner is as involved.
Yeah, you'll never know. I think what would make it easy, I think with my experience, have a nanny at that time.
Okay.
So that then it will make you
Still have time for each other.
Yes.
I can speak off of a friend that has had like recently experienced that. So she had stay-in nannies, and then she had her one son in the stay-in nanny, but she was getting tired and irritated of having someone in her presence.
That's
and
the problem.
Yeah, you have a stranger and you have to bring them into your lives. And then she got pregnant and had to have a second baby, and of course was forced to bring back a stay-in nanny or whatever.
Yes.
But she said as much as she despised having a stay-in nanny, she's actually appreciative of it, because she can still go and grab a cup of coffee with her husband, go and whatever, even if it's not for long, but you've got someone that takes care of ingane. So I hear what you're saying, Guti, a nanny would help. So
because sometimes the nanny, sorry, but sometimes the nanny sleep with the kids as well. That I didn't feel comfortable with it because I think also I was a first-time mom.
Yeah.
But
So
where are you taking him? Because I'm like,
yeah.
what if I'm nice? I'm
Yes,
like,
very protective.
please, but I'm like reflecting on it now. If I were to have another child, lala night. Also, I'm like, you're waking up to go to work. You need to raise.
Okay.
There's a lot. We do a lot.
Yeah.
I'm also a homemaker. I need to cook.
Yeah.
I need to clean. I need to.
Big up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but please have or consider having someone to assist. That will alleviate stress of partner. You're not helping me. Where now?
80-20.
Yes, there's no
50-50.
balance in this because the nanny will, and that's buffer.
Yeah.
The system.
I feel you. I'll definitely take that advice.
Do you plan to have kids anytime soon?
I would love to.
Is it?
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah.
Guys,
Even if it happens tomorrow, you guys must come to my baby shower.
So vlog baby shower.
It's just one of those things that I said are not in our control.
100%.
So you could try and it doesn't happen. But do I plan on? Yes. Would I love to? Yes. And when it does happen, it will, and I would love to.
Yeah. You're right. I love how you're saying it's out of your control because it is.
Yeah.
You could be trying. Actually, it's in God's hands. The perfect time. This is the right time, and I'll gift you guys. Also, a child is a gift. That comes at the right time, I'm guessing. Are you married? Okay, there's no married. That's why you stop on it. There's no married. Because the reason why I need married is because I've seen a lot of talk on social media saying, you're not married. And I'm like, guys. Now, for example, the kuchele lobola in full. And in the South African Dundun, I'm married because that's customary marriage.
I was about to say, I've had this conversation with my husband who's a lawyer. The first lobola, I think lobola can be split into a figure or come the second time. The first time.
Yes.
The first time is actually iscelo. It's not necessarily lobola.
Okay.
It's iscelo to say these are our intentions. It's basically a proposal.
Yes.
So if it does happen the first time or once, it would be that proposal to say, iscelo, we are interested in A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. How much is dowry and whatever? Then we can come back for the second time. But however, if they do conclude it from like the first time, and it's in full, then I stand to be corrected. The first time it could be. However, if they come back the second time and there's a celebration, about the billion, whatever, and there's proof, there's evidence, there's pictures of the celebration that took place, according to customary law, then you are married, right? With ourselves, then, because the customary law, we believe it was put together by people that hardly consulted our cultures and our traditions and how diverse they are, and just umbrella termed everything. So you could be Xhosa, Zulu, Tswana, but it umbrella terms everything, whereas Xhosa can be done differently to how they're done, isiZulu or whatever, But referring to myself, I'd like to believe that I am married. He's done all the due processes at home. So he did the proposal, and then came back the second time, and then that was the morning of Umembes, which is a gifting ceremony, for those of you that don't know, towards my family.
Yes.
To thank them for accepting Ilobor, right, and concluding it. We've now taken the daughter. Mabo is when you leave your paternal or maternal home, and then going into that. We haven't done that. So I haven't necessarily left my home to go into his officially, but we've done all the due processes towards my family. Ilobola, Ugumbesa, and but I do consider myself married. If it was just Ilobola Yokala, I would say I'm engaged.
Okay.
Yeah. But you are married.
Because that's why I've been seeing talks on, so I'm I'm confused because I even went on Google to search it, and it says if there's a celebration and you guys are wearing matching clothes, it shows that, and people ate and whatnot, it shows that.
Those are the requirements for it to be concluded as a traditional customary marriage.
It includes
let's handle a wall.
Yeah.
Because there has to be some sort of evidence or presence or proof of people having been there, right? In regards to the list that you speak of, there's a cousin of mine, they were supposed to come back for the second date. However, her husband passed away just before that, right? And now there's that dispute in court. You would say, were they married or not? However, the letter that was there, where I uncle I uncle from this side and that side, we signed, and her mom kept that letter as the letter that helped her succeed in court. So that is a very important. If you guys are planning on getting married or ilobola, just make sure that it's documented on some sort of paper. So yeah, just make sure it's documented in some sort of paper. You might and will need in the future, even though it was not done on the actual day and you're having a light bulb moment, well, we didn't do it and we have to get your uncles and aunts to formally state that this happened on this day, we were all present. However, there wasn't a paper that was documented, but this was the official one of all of us accepting or giving proof to the fact that it did occur.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Then when you get married, a home affairs, okay, before I get into that question, most culture in like now, we both married, right? And I know I'm married in community of property. I'm not sure if you are, because I didn't dispute or there wasn't any document before they came or anything. Is there a way to fix that before the big day?
Have you guys been to home affairs?
No.
Okay. So right now it's just the traditional process, right?
Yes.
Which automatically makes it customary. However, in order to fix the 50-50 in community of property, you sign an antenuptial.
Yes.
Yeah, so you sign that, an ANC that clarifies that.
But then would it require us to sign then?
Yeah, to officiate your marriage.
Okay.
Yeah. To officiate it. Because in as much as you guys not Lubagini, it's actually important to go and register it. So should anything happen to the
Did you register it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
I think I'm waiting for the big day, guys. Like I'm waiting for...
I think it's great. However, I believe a big day is a celebration.
100%.
However, your marriage exists.
Then which day do you celebrate?
The day, the actual celebration. You have a birth certificate, but your birth certificate was not necessarily signed on the day that you were given birth to.
Yes.
But you celebrate your birthday every year.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? So the signing could occur at any time. Just go to Home Affairs, just officiate the marriage. But on the actual big day will be your actual day of marriage, and you'll have your anniversary every other day on the day that you choose.
Oh, Jesus. Because I was just like, no, I'm just waiting for the big day. Because my brother-in-law is a pastor. And I'm like,
And he could actually get it done easily for you guys.
Because I'm like, but he's not ordained to, like, he's not commissioned to put a chatisi.
Please drink something. I haven't
But I did.
And drinking.
But I've been.
Strawberry and a sweet tea, please.
He gave me the sweet tea, namazimba. No.
Okay.
But I wanted him to officiate, to make it a bit special. A family member did this. And also I know because he's not ordained or commissioned, Uguti Ashadise would have to go sign first. Then do like a celebration, whatnot. But also, I'm also thinking, weddings. I'm looking at marriage.
Yes.
Weddings are expensive.
Very.
Lou came when Zani was a few days old.
Okay.
That started the conversation when we shut.
Okay.
Because when I fell pregnant, he's like, okay, you know what? I've decided meaning I'm going to pay damages and take you. So I'm taking you and the baby at the same time.
Yeah.
Then I was just like, okay. Then the whole thing happened.
Yeah.
Bazaar. First time they came, second time to finish off and whatnot. This was in, when was I born? 2021. And I'm just like, it's 2023. And sometimes you feel a bit of pressure. We've been, when are we doing something? But also, money is just like, you're not doing anything, girl.
Yeah.
You're not yet, at least, not yet. And I'm like, okay, we'd go to venues and ask for quotations and whatnot.
Actively so.
Yes, and you just like...
Yeah, mind blown. You know, speaking of the pressure, it's something that I have, but I'm also very vocal to say, not now.
Yeah.
And if it's not going to be done in the way that I would want it to, where's the rush? We both know that we're married. Celebration is just a luxury.
Funny enough, food. Because
Yes.
we married, we happy,
Yeah.
we stay in our house, we fine. It's for you guys.
Yeah. So where's the pressure coming from? Is it from society? Is it from the people that you would have to accommodate on the day? Like, where's the pressure coming from? As long as you guys are good at home, building your home, focusing on other things, you know, I've got a few things that I'd like to achieve, you know, before using those funds towards a wedding. You know, I'd rather like furnish the home, get a car, like just be happy and content, because at the end of the day, those expenses, when you say expensive, it's the venue that's going to accommodate those other people. It's the catering that's going to feed those other people. It's the decor that's going to make it pleasing for those other people, and just the two of us on the main table to get. So it's and those people are going to go back. I'm not saying it in a malicious or bad way, but those people are going to go back to their homes, focus on their own finances at the end of the day. So do it when you're ready. Do it when you're comfortable in a space to. Don't ever feel the pressure.
My sister's friend actually said something very important to me about deco.
Okay.
And she's like, deco is expensive.
Yeah.
But as soon as people sit down, do you see the deco? I'm like,
yeah, actually, no.
And she said to me, okay, do you remember the deco at my wedding? She's married. I'm like, no. She's like, yeah. There's parts up on a scraper kuti, this is not worth my money, this is not worth my money. There's parts where you're like, okay, photography.
Where can I invest?
Yes.
Because those memories are for me.
Yes, the food, okay. But other things, okay, the venue because the pictures are there. But other things is like, you're just wasting your money, you're just wasting your time and whatnot.
Yeah.
So stop pressuring people, asking them questions. When are you getting married?
When's your white wedding? Do you plan on? It's nice because you guys are asking those questions so that you can enjoy the content when it does come.
Yes.
But it's actually like, are you contributing towards it? When you do put that pressure,
are you saying I'll give you 40,000?
Yeah. Are you
when
saying I'll do the decor?
Yes.
Are you saying, you know? So we should not put those pressure.
And also, we don't come from Indian backgrounds. We might not have money. Other people are privileged to have families that chip in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm privileged to come from a family, or my mom, my dad passed away, where she'd be like, I can help out with this. But other people are like, it's only me and my man.
Yeah.
There's no other person that's willing to chip out. So if I equal, also there's life afterwards.
Yeah. You know, like also, like I'd rather make my home cozy.
Yes.
I'd rather renovate the kitchen. I'd rather, you know, it's different strokes for different folks, because there's someone that can say the wedding is a priority. I'd rather, you know, stay and not upgrade our home because we're comfortable in our home, but have the wedding. Or knowing that I don't have a car, but still proceed with the wedding, whereas the same funds could have gone towards a car or a deposit or whatever, you know. So I think it's a game of priorities. You might have the money, and at the end of the year, you might say, "Oh, 100,000 lawyers on 1, 2, 3, and 4." But had I redirected those funds towards something else, it would have happened. So it's a game of priorities.
Have you been,
Have I?
Have you been to your in-laws?
Yeah, I have.
How is it? I haven't been.
What?
Because in Xhosa, fungufakwe officially. So my dad was Zulu. Slu is Xhosa. And the Kuboben's it's like a whole thing where they introduce. Yes, we're planning to do it soon.
Okay.
But before that, you can't go to your in-laws. So you only go.
Bro, can someone rethink this culture thing?
You only go, or they only, because Bati ancestors are called, they back recognize when you get there. But before that, no chat.
So they come over to you?
No, I would go to the Eastern Cape.
Okay.
Then you stay there a couple of days.
Okay.
I don't know how it works, but I know you stay there a couple of days. And then on Saturday, it's like a big celebration with the family.
I mean, like, sorry to cut you short. I mean, like, the relationship that you guys have, if you can't go over to their homestead, but how do you interact with the family itself? Do you then accommodate them? Do you have some sort of relationship, physical relationship over the phone call?
Yeah, I've spoken to Slu's dad, but also Nyamsaba. But we've spoken.
Okay.
I think in Saba out of respect, not
Alright,
yeah.
so-
But I'm like yo, that. But sisters, he has two younger sisters and cousins and whatnot. Cousins, whatnot. We speak and whatnot. He has family here in Joburg in Midrand. We chat and whatnot. But he doesn't have a mother anymore.
Okay.
But in terms of the dad, I think we spoke once. Yeah, once or twice.
No, someone has to rethink this culture thing because how am I married and but I guess culture and we're respecting that different
Yes.
culture dynamics. I have, so with them, you can't really like now as a girlfriend
Yes.
and go and so we dated and the mom knew, but like I don't know if he doesn't introduce anyone to his mom before like it's official.
Oh,
or whatever,
that's nice.
right? So the day that he proposed, he was like, Mom, I don't know if you told him before, like, but in the works of like proposing that I've met someone, I know someone and whatever. And then after Ilobola, so after Ilobola, did I go that side? I don't think I went that side. My memory is failing me, but I know she did come. And the first time I met her, this is my mother-in-law. She came over to where we were staying, and we're in the works of members. So she came to Johannesburg to help with get the blankets, get the the gifting stuff.
Yes.
She helped us with that. So that's when I had my first encounter with her. And then then I went. I remember my first time. My memory fails me. But yeah, I do go. I've got a vlog where I went. It's an amazing experience. They've made me feel like one of their own. I feel like I'm going home. I even go without my husband.
Oh wow!
Yeah, like
they make you feel like one of their own for real.
Like he's got an younger sister, and his mom and the sister's kids, and it's just the girls' house. So it's just the girl squad, and
that's how you fit in.
That's how I fit in, and yeah, so I do go. I've got that relationship with them, and so I was feeling some type of way last week. Was it this past weekend? Like I was feeling down and whatever. It's like I need my mom. I was like literally tempted to just fly out and go home and be babies. So that's the relationship that I have with her because I don't have like my maternal mom. So my mother-in-law is that girl. So
oh, that's so nice. Even for the fact that you can go without your husband and feel like I'm home, I'm safe. Because we've heard stories.
Yeah, no, there are stories. I think I'm just one of the fortunate people that have that relationship, and I don't take it for granted because there are stories among my own friends, among people relatively close to me. It's a reality, and not every household or in-laws are always welcoming. Yeah,
but Zani has been. So
that's
nice.
Nice.
Zani has been.
Okay. Then Utigili should be top of your priorities, I guess. Even if it's a very small thing.
But also, it is a small thing. So in Xhosa, the Agnam Chad without Utsiki. So you don't even plan a wedding. Don't even go there. We start, but that's where they give you a new name.
Yes, I think.
Then they can't come to your wedding.
Okay.
Because they haven't named you.
Fair.
So there's a starting. So because I'm Zulu.
Okay.
There would be Utsiki because Masenzu Mabo, but no. Masenzu members, but no.
Okay.
Kubo, they need to say by the time Kuzinto is a member, so members that we named and introduced to you guys, then get no members. So but we're trying to do everything like in one weekend.
Okay.
To save costs because our families are not in Johannesburg, both sides.
Where's your family?
I'm close with my mom's family. My mom's family is in the Eastern Cape.
Oh, which is a plus.
Yes, and they're in the Eastern Cape.
Okay, that's great.
So we're trying to look for a long weekend where we can just do everything.
Even if it's like, I'm not saying go small, like don't get me wrong.
It's so weird because Amanda and I were discussing this on our way here because it was going to happen like soon. And I said to Sue, let's push it back. And I'll tell you why I'm saying to you, let's push it back. I said to him, let's push it back because there's money coming in.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, let's just rather wait for that.
Okay.
So that we can be comfortable doing it.
Okay.
So that I can also do my hair, do my nails, buy myself what I want and not feel like you're
tight.
Yes, it must be fast and look back and feel like.
Let me console you. My members was for 80 people. When I did decor, I said 80. When I did catering, of course you can't do exactly 80 with catering.
Yes.
It was 100. You add an additional 20 for people that might walk in. But literally because we wanted to have it done.
Yes.
It was still great. It was still cute and pretty, and I appreciate how it happened, whatever. But tonight was quick. Engagement happened, or proposal, July, August, Amalobola, and then September, October, November was the planning at 3 months, and in 3 months' time I had members.
Oh wow.
So, but it was very quick, but I don't regret keeping it at that.
Okay.
There aren't other people that I wish were there that one day. It was literally for my family, by his family. Literally 80. I had 40 main table. I was good.
That's what I want for my wedding.
Intimate, great. You appreciate everyone's presence that was there. You're not going over and above people that don't matter. So that's why I need to, I'm not saying go small, but because it's such a priority and it's something that would elevate your relationship, go for it even if it's small.
Lisa, when you vlog, guys,
what's the next question?
I have a question.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Nolu and I have these conversations all the time about how married women treat single women.
Okay.
What is it that you guys think changes in you because you were once single as a married woman for you not to look, for lack of a better phrase, like look down on single women? You don't want me around your husband anymore. You don't want to be my friend anymore. I don't know if you guys covered that. But like, there's a divide and married women like to ostracize single women. How do you guys feel about that? Why is it done? What's the benefits of it? And have you ever experienced it?
Okay, I'll answer this question. Considering that I got married young, and listen, like the term the street sounds bad. It does, because people have given it a negative connotation. But we were on the streets in the sense that we'd have girls' nights, it's the altitude, we'd have late dinners and whatever. I was a girl's girl. Like I had an entire girls' squad. I remember moving 2021, I had my apartment, my little one-bedroom apartment in North Riding, and I hosted my friends. I had 20 people over, like 20 ladies. If you were to ask me where those 20 ladies are today, it's rather unfortunate because things changed. Like literally a month later when I got engaged, they still are around. There's still people that I interact with. However, the late nights change. I can no longer be at altitude at a certain time. I'm not looking down on you. I'm just respecting this person that I'm with, and we live together, right? I, for one, am not a person that looks down on single women. I'm just speaking from experience. For example, I recently had a conversation like this with Usitati and Ubwebe. A question came in that said, are you missing out on fun as a married woman? I involved her by saying, I respect you even in your relationship, regardless of the fact that it's marriage or not. You know, that's how we should treat it. Even you not being married, you're still an equal to me. You're still respecting someone else, even if you were single. Like single in the sense that single, no man. It's just rather unfortunate that the dynamics change, right? I'm not saying I can't hang around with you anymore. I'm just saying, friend, can we change scenario or place from altitude to guilt for coffee? However, it then gets received wrong. I think from my experience, I've lost friends because of that. Like I've lost friends in the sense that it's like, oh, you're not available. We are not invite her because it's like I can't even invite her because So I think it just needs a community of women that are willing to accommodate you. You guys are willing to accommodate each other. I look down on the married women that look down on the single ladies because life, I always say, is not linear. You're married today, you're single tomorrow.
I always say that.
Yeah, you're married today, you're single tomorrow. We're all women, we all have different family dynamics. The only thing that changes is just that in Sunday I've got a curfew and you don't. Or I've got, however, I always get this advice, I would say, hey, but I always stand to protect my friends. So I'm not going to say there's some sort of benefit to not having married friends. It's just super great if I've got a community of women that understand that regardless that I'm single, friends of one, let's actually catch coffee at Guild. As soon as I leave you there, I'm joining my goals at altitude.
Yes.
It's just that our friends, some of them aren't willing to meet us halfway, They're
not accommodated.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I think I don't have a lot of single friends. You understand where I'm at, and nowhere do you you went to the club the other time and Zangawati, no, let's go. No, you understood that. I won't say other people wouldn't understand because I've never experienced it, but I think sometimes, as much as we think ukuthi maybe the married people aren't accommodative to the single ones, sometimes the single ones don't want to adapt to say, okay, this is where Nolu is at. Now she has to go home. Sometimes you invite me to a party and whatnot, and if I leave go 5, and I just have priorities, yes. And sometimes you don't want to listen to we are bored, I'm not going.
Can I make an example? Now that you mention a kid, same as the friends that have the kids and ones that don't. So I don't have a kid. I remember this one time I was excluded from a kids party. And I'm like, well, that sucks. You're my friend, and like, in as much as I don't have a kid, but I would have loved to come to your son's birthday party because, like, nyamtanda.
Yeah.
How possible is it that I interact with your son, I love your son, I whatever, but you saw it not fit for me to come to your kid's son party because I don't. So I think it's just different dynamics, and also it needs to take the single friend to, like I said, adapt, because if I was the one without a kid, I need to willingly offer myself to actually have our dates at the farm with your son and at the zoo instead of elsewhere that's not accommodating for child. I need to be willing to go to Papachinos, even though I don't have.
Yes.
So I think it's just people having to meet each other halfway. Do you have another question?
I'm sure I do.
Yeah.
But you guys answered that. And I wanted to make an example of that about when I became a mom the second time around. I did also have the same experience of not being invited to things because they just assumed, but she's a mom, she's not going to come.
Yes.
And then you have other friends who are just like, actually, do you want to come to Papachinos? And they don't have kids. Let's go to Papachinos so you can bring Milani with.
Yeah.
It's about, I guess, wanting
communication
and effort and wanting that friendship.
Yeah. I live by the saying that anything that has happened was supposed to happen. I never question anything. When I lose friends, when I do it, and like it was bound to, it was written in the stars way before.
So it's fine.
What advice would you guys give to someone who is, whether young or old, who's looking into umshado? Not the fluffy stuff. You guys always tell us that.
Yes.
Like, what you wish you knew then that you know now that you'd pass it on to a woman that you love.
I think I would have done it sooner.
Okay. Really?
Yeah. Okay. I think I would have done it sooner because of how life is easier now that I'm married, and I won't count going in such chatty when we stay together. Because now families know, everybody knows what's happening in our lives. Finances are better. I won't stress that because of the economy, the way it's set up, kunzima for all of us, but because I'm doing it with someone, it's easier. It's also nice to come back and say, yes, I'm yes, instead of always, not instead, but sometimes you feel like you're a burden when you do that too much to your friends, and your friends have lives as well. Your husband is your life. So I don't feel like I'm burdening him by saying, oh, why is it and whatnot. Yes, in a tech team partner. Yes, I have a confidant. But definitely, as much as there's horrible stories about marriage and whatnot, I sometimes feel like we're siblings. I treat it like we're siblings because siblings fight.
Yeah.
Siblings don't get along sometimes. Siblings don't. It's just that the only difference up is that we sleep together and but it's like to me.
How do we sleep together? I also sleep on the same bed with my siblings. We sleep together.
Okay, we have sex. The other time my mom
was so old to this, like.
But yeah.
Okay.
So, but I would, like I always say in my vlogs, when you have time, guys.
So what was the question? What advice would you give to someone looking into getting married?
Someone you really, really love. So when you love someone, you obviously won't give them the surface level stuff that we hear from other women.
Okay. I'm giving this advice to my little sister.
Yes.
Right? I shy away from giving this advice because it seems like go and get used, go and date different men, go and like parade yourself out there. But I think it's so important for a woman to have a list of yeses and nos. We tend to settle so much for this idea of marriage that we overlook the red flags, we overlook the little things, and you end up in a lifelong commitment with someone. It's all nice and fluffy when you're dating and, you know, you feel like I can handle this going forward. But there's a tiny thing that when you can't stand it now, a lifelong commitment with that person, it's going to mess you up. So men are very picky when it comes to what they want. They will not settle. He has a list and he says, what I want in a wife is A, B, C, and D. But the moment a man comes and sings marriage, you're so excited and you overlook like all that, you know, you don't have a list. You just marriage. The umbrella term is, if I could just get married. Who are you getting married to? What are you getting it in for? What are you getting in for? What do you wish to achieve outside of marriage or in marriage? What do you aspire to achieve in the marriage? What do you want this person to be? Do you want him to be a provider? Do you want him to be a best friend? What kind of father do you want for your kids? How can you know? So even though it's an elongated process to find the right, no one is perfect, but let it be an 80-20. You know, the person's characteristics, whatever that you want, but for yourself.
Yeah.
Not because he's a lawyer, he works at Bowman, and he says he wants to marry me, he'll be good. He could be that lawyer that brings in so much money in the house, but he's a narcissist. He looks down on women. He's unavailable because he's constantly at the office. But because it's so picture perfect to say, oh, I'm married to a lawyer and we live in such a home, you know, it's great and that's what I want to do, and you immediately settle. Marriage is a lifelong commitment. No one gets into marriage to say, I want to leave. So pin it down to the little things in your dating stage. Shadi and marriage. You know, because it's beyond the wedding day.
Yeah.
You know, yes, that's advice.
I think to add, men know that we want to get married as women. That's why they always dangle it.
Yes.
I'm gonna marry you, and they know we're gonna be
around.
Okay.
Some even goes back. My ex gave me a shut up ring.
What's a shut up ring?
Like, yeah.
Are you serious?
Stay, because I wanted to leave.
Shut up ring.
And yeah, just shut up.
Until you realize like, when are we going home? When are you bringing the lobola? When are
you changing? I needed him to change.
Okay.
And I was threatening to leave, and he was just like, okay. He obviously assumed that obviously all women want to get married.
Yes.
He has a shut up and stay.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and how long did you have the shut up ring for until you realized it was nonsense?
Maybe like 6 months.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I would have had it for longer.
Oh, okay. You know why I say that? I think with my partner, he believes so that literally after I said yes, he already had the letter with him.
Next
Next
stage.
like because he felt this is not married without like ring is
in the black culture.
Yeah, so to me the day he said here's a ring, here's a letter, so I kind of realized that. But I understand a year's gone, and I'm just like, you know,
I'm engaged.
People, they don't even know about your engagement, you know.
Of course.
And as a family, they always like, some families oh wow,
you know?
Stop what you're doing.
Jeez.
So
you gotta shut up, brain. But I'm not guys. Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed our sit down. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.